Video game violence has made itself a significant topic in today's society based on the many studies done depicting a link between real-life violence and bad behavior. Many people have linked major events in recent history to violent video games, claiming that the inspiration and aggression harbored by these people came from their frequent playing of video games. A recent study conducted by Gentile, Lynch, Linder, and Walsh showed that adolescent girls played video games for an average of 5 hours a week, whereas boys averaged 13 hours a week. The authors also stated that teens who played video games for extended periods of time tend to be more aggressive, are more prone to confrontation with their teachers, may engage in school fights with their peers, and also see a decline in school achievements. So it is in studies such as this one that have formed a general concerned outlook on violence.
Violence in video games has been debated over for a very long time. It has been a source and link to the explanations behind many vicious crimes and aggressive behavior. While many studies have proved that violence in video games have a direct impact on players' personalities, there are others who believe that video games are not a significant source of any negative behavior. According to a research paper titled "The Impact of Video Games," the people who do dispute the negative effects of video game violence tend to cite that video games may improve a player's manual dexterity and computer literacy as a way to argue the opposition. That being said, there is still a significant amount of studies that show that there is a link between the violence in games and the negative behavior of its players.
The early stages of controversy concerning violence in video games began first with a small 8-bit game developed in the year 1976. It was called Death Race. Death Race was an 8-bit arcade game that featured human-shaped ghouls needed to be destroyed throughout vehicular manslaughter, at which point a gravesite would appear signifying a successful killing. The National Safety Council called it gross, and 60 Minutes broadcasted an investigation into the psychological impact of video games.
With the first wind of violent video games over, it was only a matter of time before another controversy arose. In 1993, Mortal Kombat and Night Trap shook American households so much that Senator Joe Lieberman proposed federal video game regulations. Mortal Kombat featured some of the goriest fatalities and rivers of blood running from characters' faces throughout the fights. The game in itself was the epitome of a bloodbath.
In response to the evident controversy in these violent video games, the Entertainment Software Rating Board was created in 1994. This is a self-regulatory organization that assigns age and content ratings on all games released. They make their judgments based on the game content, which is very similar to how they rate motion pictures. RP stands for Rating Pending, which means it has yet to be rated by the board. Early Childhood, which is rarely seen on shows, are for young children 3 and up. Next is E for Everyone, which is games that the board believes are suitable for children 6 years and up. They can contain mild violence and or language. Everyone also has another category where only kids 10 and older can play it.
Next is Teen, which includes games that can be sold to those aged 13 and up. These games contain moderate use of violence, including blood, crude humor, and mild to moderate language. Next is Mature, which is sold to those who are aged 17 and up. These games can contain realistic blood, gore, stronger sexual themes including vulgar language. Adult ratings only are rarely seen on shelves. As you have to be 18 in order to purchase them, these games usually have extreme sexual content as well as graphic nudity. Companies such as Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony will refuse to stock any adult-rated games.
The Sandy Hook and Columbine shootings are 2 of the most prominent and discussed shootings related back to violence in video games. On December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza entered a Sandy Hook elementary school in Connecticut and killed 26 people, 20 of them being children. In Adam's house, a modded version of Half-Life 2 was found that featured the player going through a school killing innocent people.
On April 20th, 1999, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold launched an assault on Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. They murdered 13 and wounded 23 before committing suicide with the same guns used to kill the students. Many believe that this was initially because of the violent video games that both were playing. They both heavily played Doom, which is a very violent first-person shooter. They found on Harris's website that he had a customized version of Doom that featured 2 shooters. Both have extra weapons, unlimited ammo, and the other people in the game could not fight back. Earlier, Harris and Klebold created a videotape that was oddly similar to the customized version of Doom. The video featured Harris and Klebold both with guns and in trench coats, killing school athletes. In less than a year, they reenacted the same video in real life at their high school.
The question reigns, what truly is the cause of such violent outbreaks? There is psychological effect that many of these violent games have on adolescents. One is being rewarded for committing violent acts. For example, in Call of Duty, one can play for months on end online, killing other players and gain experience for each kill the person gets. This repetition of violent acts can be considered an effective teaching method or as a subconscious reinforcement. Most of these games are first-person shooters, which make the player feel as though they are literally the character in the game. After a limited amount of time playing a video game, a player can automatically prime aggressive thoughts. Players who have played violent video games are more likely to have an increased level of aggression when they are confronted.
God damn it. Hitler, make your move, bitch! I'm waiting for you. Oh yeah, no, do it! Move, bitch! Oh, here we go! Oh. Ah, Hitler, you bitch! Come on, come on. Come on! Ah! Oh my god, it had 2 balls? What the fuck, Hitler? Oh my god. That's an imposter. That can't be Hitler. Hitler have 1 ball.
Even with all this evidence, a large portion of people still believe that there is no connection between violence and video games. The handful of mass shooters that are committing gun violence are considered mentally unhealthy. Even though video games may or may not be considered a source or inspiration to these prominent examples of violent crimes, studies have expressed how negatively video game violence can affect our minds. And it is for this reason that we must monitor the effect of violent video games on our mentality.